Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, and welcome to another episode of Kast. Today is going to be Kast number 7, and it is the 8th of March. So today I'm actually going to do a little bit of a free-form Kast, because usually I have like a list of topics that I go through, but today it's going to be a lot different. It's going to be a lot more rambly, so to speak. And it's not really like a rant or anything. It's just something that has been crossing my mind. And today even a friend of mine, just out of coincidence, a friend of mine kind of commented a couple of things with me that I wanted to discuss in a Kast. And despite the fact that this Kast comes like right in the heels of Kast number 6, it's just, for some reason, I've been feeling more in the mood to do Kast as opposed to just do another episode of a particular playthrough or anything. But before we get into the main topic of today's Kast, I wanted to just give you guys a couple of updates, because you guys have been asking quite a lot about this, which is, where's the Dragon Age stuff? Like, what are you doing with Dragon Age? Why haven't there been more? Why haven't there been more Dragon Age episodes uploaded to the channel? And the reason for that is, to be completely honest, I haven't really felt like playing Dragon Age, and doing video commentary on a game when you don't really feel like it is usually a pretty bad idea, because people will notice that your usual passion isn't there, and that will just destroy the video. I mean, I know, because several videos that you guys haven't seen, because I haven't really uploaded them, were videos that I've considered to just be subpar commentary wise. There's a lot of that, actually. You guys might not be aware, but there are several videos that at least some of us, I'd like to think all YouTubers do, that never really get uploaded, simply because we don't feel that is up to the standards. Like, and I would like to think that most YouTubers do that, although I could be wrong. I mean, maybe people just upload stuff for uploading, but that's not really me. That's not the way I like doing things. And this actually reminded me of something a while back, where I remember working on a video about Diablo 3 with Side Strafe. This was a long time ago, before Diablo 3 ever came out. We were working on a Diablo 3 video, and we recorded, I want to say it was about 2 hours. So we had this 2-hour long video that we recorded, and we were like going through it, both of us, and we were like, this isn't really good, so let's just scrap it. So we scrapped 2 hours of recording and stuff, just like that. And that's kind of the way that I feel about certain videos. And since I haven't really been in the mood to play Dragon Age, that's the reason why I haven't recorded, and that's the reason why you guys haven't really seen anything on the channel regarding that. And in case you guys are looking, oh, but what about an estimate? It's like, look, guys, I can't give anyone an estimate, simply because I don't know when I'm going to be in the mood to pick up that game again. That's the thing. When I do feel in the mood to pick it up again, there's going to be more videos. While I'm not in the mood to pick it up, there's not going to be videos. That's just the way it's going to be. Another thing is Tera. I kind of got started on Tera, and I came to an abrupt halt, because here's the thing that happened, and this is actually very funny, and it kind of completely pisses the crap out of me. But as I was getting into Tera, I was talking to people, seeing if there was anyone in my friends list like interested in joining Tera and stuff, and everybody was like, oh, I don't feel like playing it, don't really like it, blah 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 blah. Everybody was basically telling me, oh, I don't really feel like playing Tera, whatever. But before I started playing Tera, I had started playing Warframe, because I think my Warframe video actually went up before the Tera video. So I had started playing Warframe. I was really getting into Warframe, and it was the same thing. I was talking to my friends and like, look, man, you want to try this out? Like, and everybody was, oh, that game is trash. Nobody likes that game. That game's no good. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't get anyone to play these games with me. And obviously these games are like multiplayer games, you know? So you want to have people that you know playing with you, so that you guys can, comment with each other and talk trash to each other and tell, oh, look, I got this piece of gear, I got this thing, I got this thing. So basically I tried out Warframe, nobody was picking it up, and then I moved on to Tera. Again, nobody was picking it up, but I kind of stuck around Tera because I was having a lot of fun playing Tera. Then all of a sudden, Pally Time starts playing Warframe because he's like, oh yeah, I kind of like that game. And I was like, oh. So I do a video with Pally Time. I start getting into the game again. That was the first video me and Pally Time did together. And I started getting into Warframe again, and then I'm like, really, I'm more qualified to know how the game works and stuff, because when I played it once just by myself, I just kind of ran through it and I thought, oh, this looks like fun. I see potential here, but I didn't really pay that much attention to the intrinsic mechanics of the game itself and how it worked. Once I started realizing how it worked, I then went back to Vex and I told him, look, Vex Trinity, this game is actually really good. So Vex was like, okay, I'll try it out. So Vex tries it out and he gets really into it. And so all of a sudden I have two people that are interested and actively playing Warframe, like more than me. And I was like, oh, I feel like I want to play some Warframe. So that's why I've been getting a lot more into Warframe and a lot less into Tera, because if I go to Tera, there's nobody there to play with me. And I'm actually like in a full guild or whatever, but it's chock full of people, and I honestly don't really know anyone. And I don't really feel the need to like go there. You know, that's the thing about MMOs and multiplayer-like games, is you usually want to have friends there that like pull you back into the game. I mean, why do you guys think World of Warcraft is so successful? World of Warcraft is ridiculously successful for the social aspect. It's no longer really because of the game. It's because people have friends there, and friends pull them in. Like, oh man, we went to do this dungeon last night, man. You gotta come back. You gotta join us. Whatever. Friends pull you in, which is why it's so hard to actually stop playing World of Warcraft. A lot of people think, oh, it's addicting. No, it's not really addicting. The game itself is not addicting. What's addicting in World of Warcraft is the social connections that you make with people. And a lot of people, like actually outside of the gaming scene, don't understand that kind of connection that you form with other people in an online game. So they're like, oh, that's just a game. I mean, those aren't real people. And, you know, that's why a lot of people see World of Warcraft like a really bad thing. And I'm not saying it isn't, just like I'm not saying it is. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's a social experiment. It's a game, but its greatest success is because it was kind of the first one to really, that people really attach themselves to, and it's very hard to kind of dethrone it. But I think I kind of derailed my whole point. What I'm saying is that I haven't been playing as much Tera because I've been playing a lot more Warframe because my friends are playing Warframe, so I'm more interested in Warframe. It's also a lot more recent, and the thing about Warframe that I also really like is the way it's structured its missions, which is really good for me right now because I haven't really dedicated like extended amounts of time to a game. So what I like to do is just dip into a game, play for a bit, and dip out, because usually I have stuff to do, like work, like recording videos, whatever. So I end up doing a lot more of Warframe because it's like you can get in, do a 20-minute missions, and get out, you know? And yeah, so that's what's happened with Tera. Haven't logged in that much since I did that last video with the Lancer tank. I haven't really logged in that much because I've just been playing Warframe. So I'm sorry. I realize that a lot of people want to see more Tera, and it will probably happen. It's just like Dragon Age. I'm not feeling it right now, so it's more about Warframe than anything else. Regarding the Dark Souls playthrough that I'm doing, I guess the cat's out of the bag. A lot of people have been asking if that is the challenging playthrough, and I guess it is challenging, but it's not the challenging playthrough I had intended. As several of you noticed, the name of the character for the challenging playthrough, because I played it during one of the cons casts as background footage, I had the start of that particular character. And the name of that character, as a lot of you guys pointed out, was Miyazaki. And that is because the run that I was actually planning at the time was a Miyazaki tribute run. And I haven't really done that run yet. And I will, at least it's still in my plans to do that particular run, the Miyazaki tribute run. But the reason I haven't done it yet is because since I started doing videos with Pally Time, I mean, both of us are playing Dark Souls, and both of us know that a great majority of both our audiences really enjoy Dark Souls, so it just seemed like a logical thing to try and do the whole co-op playthrough that a lot of people want to watch. And not only that, but we managed to do something without even thinking too much about it, because if you guys think about the playthrough that we're doing, it's actually quite interesting, which is we managed to do a co-op playthrough, which is something that me personally, I haven't seen a whole lot in the Dark Souls scene. Maybe it's done, but I haven't really seen it a whole lot being done. So a co-op playthrough in Dark Souls in New Game Plus, which is, I mean, it's not ridiculously challenging considering the knowledge that both him and me have of the game. Being in New Game Plus, it's almost like the same as being in normal game. The difference, however, that makes it challenging is that we're trying not to use shields at all. The only time we use shields is like if we get invaded and we have to PvP, or why else would we use shields? Maybe if we're running back to a boss or something, we might use shields to just make the run back faster or something, but I don't think we've even done that. I could be wrong, but I don't think we've even done the whole... I think I might have used it when I was running back to Sif, but I don't think I even blocked anything with it, so it doesn't really count, but... we're trying not to use shields, but like I said, if we do get invaded for PvP and whatnot, we will pop out shields, and because obviously otherwise we'd be in a ridiculous disadvantage. So by doing this, it has become incredibly challenging. Also, if you notice, Pally-Time has medium roll, I have fat roll. That's another thing that makes it really, really challenging. Playing in New Game Plus without a shield while fat rolling, it's ridiculous. And you can say, oh, but Pally-Time doesn't fat roll. Yeah, but he doesn't make that much damage with the Ornstein Spear either. So, you know, it's... and oh, yeah, and that's the other thing. And it's a themed playthrough of Smo and Ornstein, you know? So I think we've managed to combine quite a lot of interesting aspects on a Dark Souls run. However, we're trying to do it on a regular basis, but I want you guys to understand that it might not be possible to do on a regular basis, so there might be times where we will miss out a couple of episodes because, I mean, Pally-Time currently is working a lot on live streaming as well, so that kind of limits the time we have to recording. But I mean, this is nothing like, it's not like I'm saying, oh, the playthrough's over. No. Don't even go there. Like, we fully intend on doing the full playthrough. We're just, the thing that I'm trying to say is that it's not easy to do a full co-op playthrough. It's actually rather hard to sync up and all that jazz. As a matter of fact, during the videos that you guys are watching now, which we recorded 5 videos, during those videos, one time I got stuck in a bonfire. In case you guys don't know how that is, sometimes for whatever reason with me, what happens is I think it might have something to do with the 60 FPS thing on DS Fix, but I'm not sure. But what happens sometimes is that I will go to a bonfire, I'll level up or do something else, and then I'll click to leave the bonfire, and the menu will disappear, but my character will remain sitting at the bonfire. And the problem with that is that the only way to unbreak the game, let's put it like that, the only way to recover from that is to sign out of Games for Windows Live. And if you sign out from Games for Windows Live, it pretty much resets your connection. And by resetting your connection, you're no longer synced with the other person. You're no longer in that same IP pool. And that costed us like 40 minutes of recording to get back into the same IP pool. So when stuff like that happens, it gets very, very frustrating. Like, it costed us about half an hour just to connect to each other, and then it costed us 40 minutes the one time that we lost that IP pool. So just so that you guys know that that stuff is actually very, very time consuming to do a co-op playthrough. But it's definitely something we intend to do all the way, and you guys have been just enjoying it like all hell. So I think we're doing good things here. Apart from this is funny, it's been like 17 minutes or something, or maybe 15. I'm not sure if I have a failed take at the start of this recording, but it's been like 15 minutes and I haven't even gotten to the main topic. It's going to be very, very rambly today. Something else is in regards to God of War. Like I told you guys, I want to do a full playthrough of God of War Ascension. So that is also another reason why I'm not giving too much priority to the Dragon Age, because I mean we already have the Dark Souls thing ongoing, and I'm still running out the last episodes of Far Cry 3. So by the time Far Cry 3 ends, it's going to be just about the ideal time to actually start the Dark Souls thing, the God of War thing. So it's going to be God of War and Dark Souls for quite some time in the channel. And also let me update you guys on something. My girlfriend, who is apparently a genius, went to a store in Lisbon, the same store where the God of War developers Mark Simon and Jason McDonald held the that fan event that I showed you guys in my channel. In that store, I told her to go there and check to see if they had the collector's edition, if they were accepting pre-orders, how much did it cost, all that stuff. So she got a whole bunch of crazy promotions stacked up together, whatever, with some purchases that she wanted to do. Bottom line, the collector's edition of God of War costs like 99 euros. And the reason why I'm even considering the collector's edition is because if you look at all the stuff that comes with the collector's edition, I mean, you get all the suits for the multiplayer, whatever, even though I really don't care that much about that stuff. But you also get a season pass. That stuff I care about. You get, so basically I'm going to get all the DLC that they make for God of War. And usually season passes go for about 30 euros for most games. At least I think that's still the price for the Borderlands 2 season pass, for instance. And so if you look at it, the game is being sold for 69 euros at the store, even though I could get it for like 50 if I buy it online. But it's being sold for 69 euros at the store. You put 30 euros from the season pass on top of that, that's already 99 euros. Then you still get the statue, you still get some other DLC things. I think you might get some kind of art thing, you might get the code to download the soundtrack, or maybe the soundtrack itself, I don't know. You get the steel case. So you get a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. And the thing is, with all these promotions that she managed to stack up and whatnot, it's actually only going to be 79 euros. So it's kind of a more reasonable price. So I am getting the collector's edition of God of War, which will also allow me to do kind of an unboxing, show you guys all the cool stuff that comes with the collector's edition. And not only I want to do like a full playthrough of God of War Ascension, I also want to go through the multiplayer of that game, because even though I bitched a lot about the swords and whatnot, I had a lot of fun when I was playing that multiplayer, and I want to play that multiplayer some more. I want to really delve into that multiplayer and maybe even come up with tactics or stuff like that. I don't really know, but I really want to sink my teeth into God of War Ascension. That's so that is going to be something that's going to come to the channel in some strength. Let's put it like that. And on top of that, there's also the fact that I'm considering, and this is just considering. I mean, I think I said in the past that this is something I want to do, which is actually, I've mentioned this in episode 6, so you guys already know that I want to play through the whole thing, like Chains of Olympus and all that stuff. But that is something that all depends on the views and whatever, and how much you guys enjoy watching that stuff. Something that you can definitely count on, if I'm able to do it anyways, is the full playthrough of God of War Ascension, as well as all the multiplayer stuff. A lot of multiplayer stuff, because like I said, I had a lot of fun in that multiplayer. I really got into it because, I mean, it's not a shooting multiplayer, which so many games do these days. It's actually a melee-based multiplayer from a spectacle fighter game. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about God of War, and that's definitely something that you guys are going to be seeing in the channel. Something else I wanted to mention is that there's a possibility that I'm going to be putting Kast on iTunes. I'm definitely thinking about it. It's something I want to do. It's just there's no easy connection from YouTube to iTunes. I really wish there were more connections from YouTube to other places, because there's so many things I would like to do. Like, I wish YouTube was connected to blip.tv the same way that blip.tv is connected to YouTube. Because, like, you can upload a video to blip.tv and publish it on YouTube. And it seems like my voice is going. I'm really sorry. But as I was saying, you can upload a video to blip.tv and have that video publish itself onto YouTube. I wish you could do the reverse, because I want to put my videos in more places. I don't just want to have YouTube all the time, because me personally, I like listening to podcasts, and I think that Kast is kind of like a podcast thing. So I would very much like to publish it on iTunes so that you guys could listen to it on the go. There was one time where I did this with Khan's Gamecast or whatever. But again, the problem with that is that the process isn't linear. I need to figure out some kind of linear process, because you guys might be thinking, oh, you're just lazy. Yeah, it can be that, but I mean, the thing is, you can call me lazy, but I mean, just think about this. One person, me, just me, nobody else, okay? I'm the only person working on my videos. And basically what it would take is for me to record, edit, after editing, render twice so that I would have an audio version as well as a video version. After rendering it twice, one of those goes to YouTube, the other one goes to iTunes. And actually, that's the thing. It doesn't go to iTunes. It has to go to someplace else, and then iTunes has to go and get it. And I can put it on the website. I can put it on my Dropbox, but then you need to have some RSS feed, XML feed, whatever. You need to have something that sends a feed to iTunes. And you see, that's the part of the process that it's not complicated, but it takes work. It takes extra work that I don't have to do right now. And I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I haven't really had a lot of time to do things. So anyways, just to let you guys know, I'm definitely considering it. And stay tuned on my social networks, because if I do all of a sudden like put this thing up on iTunes, I'll be sure to announce it there. And always, all of my social networks are in the description of my video. At the very bottom of the description of my video, you'll find links to everything, to my Facebook, my Google Plus, all that stuff. So just to let you guys know that. So now that we've talked about all the stuff that's not really the main subject of the video, I say we go on to the main subject of the video, which at this point, I think I might not really have the same ideas in my head that the ideas in my head that I had when I started the video. But basically the next topic is I would like to talk about people like me who are video game commentators, so who have video game commenting as their profession, so to speak. I mean, I've been doing this for over 2 years. I think I can call it my profession at this point, because I've been doing this and only this for the past 2 years. And it's still not really enough to really make my full living out of it, but it's getting there. It's slowly getting there. Like, oh wait, never mind. I was gonna say how much I made in December, which is the best month, but there's actually I think a contract thing that I can't really tell you guys. But let me just tell you, it wasn't anything spectacular, but it was kind of decent. Problem with that is December is gonna be the best month for any YouTuber, pretty much. December, November, December are the 2 best months for any YouTuber. But then you got January and February, which are the crappiest months for any YouTuber. So it's like you get the best, and right after that you get the worst. But anyways, so I want to talk a little bit about this whole video game commenting thing, because I've been noticing something, and today a friend of mine kind of told me this, which is when you're doing video game commentary as your profession, you will actually suffer from something, which I don't really know exactly what to name it, because a lot of people always say, don't make sure never to what is it, don't let your hobby become your profession. And I realize why they say that, but the thing is, I'm so confused right now. This is a very confusing topic to tackle, but the whole thing is, at some point you can't get the full enjoyment out of video games because you're always thinking about video games as your profession. And it's been happening to me recently because I've noticed that, I mean, before I started doing this as a profession, what I would do is whenever I bought a game, I would play that game like straight up all the way. I would play through the game like the whole game. I wouldn't say in one sitting, but I would play through the whole game as much as possible, finish the game as fast as possible, and then repeat the game multiple times, most likely. And I've noticed now that I can't do that anymore. And I can't do that because I can't even explain why, but I just can't do it because I feel like, oh, I should be playing this instead because this is important for my profession. This is important for me to grow in my profession. So at a certain point, you kind of go all over the place. You start like getting into certain games that maybe you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And this is not a bad thing, getting into games that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. But the problem is when you start looking at things, and I've noticed that I personally have started looking at things this way, which is, so this new game's come out. How many hours does it last? 10 hours? Okay, I guess I could cover that. I could get into that. Oh, this game lasts 60 hours? Forget about it. And before, it was the other way around. I was looking for games that would take a long time to complete because games are expensive. And you don't want to spend, I don't know, $50, $60 on a game and then play for 5 hours and it's gone. So you would always look for games that last longer. When you're in this profession, you actually almost go the other way around. Or maybe that's just me, I don't know. But you're almost like, oh man, how long does it take to complete this game? And I've noticed that is something that is constantly on my mind because I have this big backlog of games that I want to play, and I don't play them because I get a feeling that it's going to take too long. It's going to steal too much of my time. And that's something that when you're a responsible individual and you're working, you're your own boss, you'll usually be always thinking about, I need to be profitable with my time. I need to be doing things that matter. I need to be working. You're always bashing yourself in the head with, unless you're an irresponsible individual, at which point I really don't know how you'll even manage to be your own boss, because if you're responsible, you're just going to screw it up. You're going to end up getting no work done. So the problem is I'm always thinking of games as a job. And this is something that has been like slowly making its way through my mind. You know, it's like you're doing this as a job. You know, you need to get focused on your work. You can't just play to have fun anymore. You know, even though I try not to see things like that, I end up seeing them like that involuntarily. Like, for instance, I want to play Skyrim. Kelly, which is a subscriber of mine, a friend of mine, she bought me Skyrim, like I think it was in 2000, whatever it was. She pre-ordered it for me on Steam, and like I was, oh, it's amazing. I'm gonna be able to play Skyrim, because at the time I couldn't even afford it. Like I wasn't gonna play Skyrim unless someone had offered it to me. So she offered Skyrim to me, and it's something that always kills me is that I played through Skyrim, and if you guys remember, I was playing and making videos at the same time. And the whole thing of me making videos for Skyrim, because I want to play the game, but I didn't necessarily want it to make videos for it. So that I think is one of the reasons why my Skyrim videos were never really that successful, because I just wanted to play. I wanted to explore. And that's the thing about Skyrim. You want to explore. You should explore. You should have all those meaningful random encounters and all that stuff because it's fun. I never got to experience that because I was always like, I need to think about this from a video standpoint. And I don't know how people who record Skyrim, I don't really know how they do it, because it's pretty tough. I mean, recording Skyrim and actually keeping the commentary interesting while you're recording Skyrim, I think it's very, very hard. And what ended up happening is I stopped making videos for it, and consequently I stopped playing it. And that's something that has been happening with a lot of games. Like, for instance, Kingdoms of Amalur. Like, I stopped making videos for it, stopped playing it. Dragon's Dogma. Stopped making videos for it, stopped playing it. There's another game that I bought that I wanted to play, which was White Knight Chronicles. And that one was even worse because what happened was you're not making videos for it. I think this is just my brain automatically processed it like this. You're not making videos for it? Good. Don't play it. So it was like, I bought this fucking thing on release. It was expensive. I've never touched it. You know? And I like the game. I mean, I can't say I've never touched it. I've played it, but I've never really delved into it. Another game, for instance, what was the name of that game? It's a Sega game. I forget the name. Something of Fate. Resonance of Fate. I played that game on a live stream when I was with TGN. I played that game on a TGN live stream, and people got really into it because it's a really fun game. It's a turn-based game with machine guns and crazy flips and bounces, and it's really, really cool. The animations were amazing. The tactics were really fun. It had this thing where people would cross paths, and like I really got into that game. And after I did it on the live stream, I was like, okay, so now I'm going to save it. And then on the next live stream, I'm going to play it again. I never played that game again. Never even touched it. You know, and that is the problem. That's the problem that at least that's something that happens to me. And recently, another thing that I've been noticing is because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. And people who do podcasts, they don't necessarily do they don't really do the video content that I do. And the interesting thing is that they can have really cool conversations about games. And like they're talking about games and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had the time to play the games these guys are talking about. And I'm left wondering, don't I have the time? Or do I convince myself that I don't have that time because I'm always thinking about making new videos and making, you know, new things? It's such a weird, like, concept that I've really been thinking about quite a bit. And like I told you guys, a friend of mine actually came to my house today. Because since I'm working from my home, he asks me sometimes to buy games for him online because he's not at home. And since I'm at home, those guys deliver usually during times where most people are working. So it's like, you know, it's hard to get stuff delivered to your house unless you're there because they require you to sign it off and stuff. So basically, I bought a game online for him, which was Tomb Raider. And he came to my house to pick it up today, and we were talking, and he's like, look, dude, I mean, this whole thing about the video game commentator, you lose something with it. You lose a lot of the enjoyment of video games a lot of the times, and I think that's true. That's really, really true. I think a lot of the times I lose enjoyment of games because I'm always considering how can I put this into my work? How can I, you know, like the same thing to me that I just said about Skyrim almost happened with Darksiders 2, because like when I stopped making videos for Darksiders 2, I stopped playing the game. But through sheer force of will, because I really, really loved that game, I managed to go back and play it all the way, and I loved it. It's an amazing game. And lately I've been kind of trying to get into more games and actually playing through games as opposed to just recording games, because as much as I want to do it, and a lot of you guys will now say, oh, but do live streams, do live stream that stuff. And you guys need to realize that even while you're live streaming, depending on the kind of game that you're playing, it's not necessarily easy. At least for me, maybe it has something to do with my personality, because when I'm doing live stream or when I'm recording, it's like I try to be entertaining. I try to do commentary, you know, be enthusiastic about the stuff that I'm doing, all that stuff. And I think that if I was to do a live stream, for instance, when I was playing, I don't know, Skyrim or anything else, it's the thing is, I want to explore. I want to not have to talk about it. I want to just be playing it, you know? I want to be just like in a dark room with my fingers teetering on the keyboard and like just, oh yeah, I'm going to go here, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this thing. And it gets hard to do that when you're in a live stream because people obviously expect you to interact with them. At least I think that's the way a live stream should work. I mean, the person who's live streaming should be interacting with his audience, because if he's not, what's the point of the goddamn thing? Like, you're just playing a game and people are watching you and you don't interact with your audience. I mean, what's the point of that? I don't know. It's like, to me, that would not work. Like, I couldn't just go to a live stream, play a game, not pay attention to the people that are watching it. Because, I mean, you know, it's at that point, you know, to me, a live stream is like, imagine that I'm playing in the couch, you know, playing something in the couch, maybe some Dark Souls on my PlayStation, whatever, and I have a couple of friends there. Except instead of having a couple of friends there, I have like 100, 200, however many people are watching the stream are there with me. That's the way I see a live stream. So I can't just go live streams myself playing something and ignore the audience, you know? It's something I can't do. And that's the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of live streams anyways. I've been thinking a lot about live streams lately. I actually could have live streamed yesterday. It was the day that I released the Warframe video, the personal progress video. And I didn't live stream because I was like, if I live stream, I'm going to live stream Warframe. And if I live stream Warframe, I might as well delete the Warframe video that I uploaded, because it would not make sense anymore at that point, because you guys would have known everything that I said on that video had I live streamed it. And I don't know, I've just been in this mood. And I know that right now I probably sound a little bit emo, but I'm not. I'm totally not. The thing is, I've got this thing just pounding on my mind that I'm confused. I'm confused because I'm at this crossroads where it's like, it's not enough for me to just do playthroughs anymore. I want to do more. I want to do other things. I want to do more stuff. Like, especially after doing that God of War interview, God, I love doing that. I love going up and talking to people and interviewing people from the gaming industry. It was amazing. I mean, I look at the views on that video, and it's not my most successful video by far. I could do a Dark Souls video tomorrow and would have more views than the video that I did of the thing. But the passion I had for doing that, for actually going up and interviewing, and like I told you guys, I was crapping bricks right before I interviewed the guy, and I still loved that experience. It's something that I really want to do more of. Interview people, you know. It's go to press events. It's awesome. I loved it. I love covering the press event. The one thing I regret on that press event is actually the fact that I sat down. I wish I hadn't sat down. Wish I had stayed up and just filmed the whole damn thing. But yeah, and you see, that's the point. It's just playthroughs is not enough anymore. I want to do. I'm thinking about. I mean, I realize that a lot of people do this already, which is video review. Game reviews. But that's not really what I want to do. It's like that, but it's not that. I can't even explain it in proper words. But something that I was thinking about was I want to finish more games, and the reason I don't finish more games is because. And by finishing games, I mean actually playing games all the way through to the end. And the reason why I don't do it is because there's no work reason to do it. You know, there's nothing that I can justify, because like I told you guys, I'm always thinking about this very responsibly. I'm always thinking like, I should be working now. I should be making a video. Like, if I spend like, I don't know, an hour playing a game and I'm not recording it, and it's not an MMO, which means I didn't necessarily need it to be leveling a character, or, you know, I wasn't doing something work-related. What happens is I'm always thinking, you're wasting your time. You should be working. You should be doing other things. And it just keeps on bashing my skull like, you need to make videos. And it's like, I can't explain it, you know? You get that thing that the responsible side of you just completely takes over. And again, you guys might think that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just really throwing it out there. I'm just really expressing myself. I'm telling you guys what's going on in my mind. And I I don't know. I think I'm going crazy at this point, but the thing is, like I said, I want to complete more games. I want to play more games. I want to complete more games. And like I said, the reason I'm not doing it is because there's not a work reason to do it. So I'm thinking I need to create a work reason so that I can convince myself that I'm finishing this game to do work. it's it's so weird. Oh man, I'm sorry if I sound like completely crazy at this point, but it is kind of late. It is kind of late, and I knew that this was going to be kind of a ranty cons, not ranty, rambly cons cast. But continuing on to this, so I came up with this idea because all these people that I listen on these podcasts and stuff, why do I enjoy listening to these people to these guys talk about games? Like, and if you guys want to know what podcasts I like to listen to, the three main, because it's technically three. The three main podcasts I like to listen to is Epic Battle Axe. Well, it's not really Epic Battle Axe. Epic Battle Axe is the name of the website. They call the podcast Epic Battle Cry. That's probably my favorite podcast of all right now. Followed very closely by the Axe Factor, which also has one of the guys from Epic Battle Cry is also in the Axe Factor. And then it's Giant Bombcast. Even though I very rarely actually get to the end of a Giant Bombcast podcast, because what tends to happen is like the Giant Bombcast is like 3 hours long or 2 hours something. And I'm not saying it's not good, because it's all good. I enjoy listening to it. But the thing is, the times I really listen to podcasts is when I go outside to do my daily walk and stuff. So usually I'll listen to either Epic Battle Cry or Axe Factor. And if I don't have any of those to listen to, I'll listen to Giant Bomb. But I'm not going to be doing a 3 hour long walk. So usually then I get home and I stop listening. But anyways, the thing I like is that those people talk about games, and they've finished a lot of games. And that's the thing. It's like I want to be able to finish games so that I can talk about them. You know, I want to talk about games after finishing them. Like, for instance, you take a look at one of the series that I currently do, which is New Game Plus, and I'm not sure if there are games there that I have already finished or not. But New Game Plus is more like a first impressions type of thing. First impressions, and I sometimes also do reviews. Like I did kind of a review thing with Aliens Colonial Marines, because I did play Aliens Colonial Marines all the way, like I told you guys, because I had a friend of mine who was fanatic about that game. But it's not really something that I do after I've played a game all the way. So I'm thinking, like, I want to play a game all the way and actually talk about that game once I'm done playing it all the way, to kind of tell you guys the stuff I liked and the stuff I didn't like. And with that in mind, today I was like, man, let me see. What should I play? I should play something today. So I go to Steam and I download BioShock. And I realize that that game has a ton of fans. A lot of people love BioShock, and I start playing it, and I'm like, yeah, I could get into this. And then I'm like, I start going through the gunplay of the game, and I was like, I don't know exactly what it was, but I wasn't getting into it. I was just like, I can't get into this game. And it's a good game, and it's not to say the game hasn't aged well. I mean, the game looked fine, full 1080p, everything maxed out. Game looked and ran pretty damn good. So I can't really complain like, oh, this game looks like ass, I can't play it anymore. No, everything looked good. I couldn't really find something. Damn, my nose is itchy as hell. I couldn't really find something to point out, but I just couldn't get into it. So I stopped playing it. Then I was like, so what could I play? I go and I play Gravity Rush on my feet, and I'm like, this is a lot more fun. So I played a whole bunch of Gravity Rush, and still not enough to just start talking about it, because I haven't finished it yet. But that might be the next game I'm going to complete. Don't know. It might also be Skyrim. Who knows? Because it's just psychological, man, you know? It's And I noticed this on other people who do the same as me. I haven't really noticed it on Pally Time because he can do playthroughs. Like I was talking to him something about Far Cry. Like, so how about Far Cry? Did you like Far Cry? And he's like, yeah, I already played it all the way and I recorded everything. Stuff on my channel. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're a machine. So yeah, and I haven't really noticed that kind of games, that mentality that I have of, I need to do this for work and I need to focus on things that I can finish for my work, but I noticed it, like, for instance, on Side Strafe, I noticed it a little bit because, like, for instance, he bought Diablo 3, he bought Borderlands 2, he bought, what else? I don't know. I know that he bought a whole bunch of other games and he's never really played them all that much because I think he kind of feels the same way. I think he feels that it's like I'm wasting time playing this game, even though we're actually not wasting time playing games, because playing a video game actually gives you perspective, so that when you play other games, you have something to compare it to. And that's something that I've noticed, is that the people who are more experienced in this industry are people who have played and actually finished a lot of games, because they have a lot more, how should I put this? They have a lot more experience behind them that they can actually say, no. This game did it right like this game did it wrong, even though it tried using stuff that this game made. They have a lot more experience because they've finished more games. So at this point, I'm just thinking, so am I doing something wrong? Am I doing something right? And I think my speech might even be confusing because, like I told you guys, it's very messy in here in regards to this concept. It's very, very messy because you're thinking, I'm playing video games, I'm having fun, that means I'm not working. But in this profession, it doesn't work like that, you have to think outside of the box. You have to actually say, no. I'm playing video games, I'm having fun, and I'm actually evolving as a video game commentator because I now have more video game experience. Oh my God, it's so confusing. It's just so confusing. It's a topic that's been battling in my head forever. Then comes along this thing, which is Soul Sacrifice. I'm thinking, oh man, Soul Sacrifice. I really want to play Soul Sacrifice. I really want to record Soul Sacrifice. But I can't. And you guys are wondering, what do you mean you can't? You've recorded Vita footage. Yeah, I did. And to be completely honest, even though it was decent quality, the quality of the gameplay itself is crap. I can play 10 times better if I don't have to record. That's the problem, is that I can play a game 10 times better if I'm not recording it. And I don't want to go into a game like Soul Sacrifice crippled. Like, I can't grip my Vita properly on those stands thing, and it's so annoying. And you see that this will become a problem, because when Soul Sacrifice comes out, this is going to be a problem for me, because I'm going to be thinking, man, I should be covering this for work. I shouldn't really just be having fun with it. I should be recording it and stuff, and then it's like I'll probably go and try to record it because I know myself and I'm an ass. I'll probably go and I'll try to record it, and it's gonna look it's not gonna look bad. It's gonna look good, but the gameplay is gonna be terrible. Like, I'm gonna be missing dodges. I'm gonna be missing spells. I'm gonna be getting my ass handed to me. I'm gonna be like passing missions through the skin of my teeth, and throughout that whole time, I'm going to be just frustrated. I'm going to be like, oh, rage. Why can't I record Vita footage properly? Why can't you give me some of that goddamn Gaikai technology? Make this thing stream to my PlayStation. Going insane. But anyways, then on top of that, there's another game that I want to cover, which is The Last of Us. I'm definitely going to make a full playthrough of The Last of Us in my channel, because it seems like it's going to be finally the one zombie-esque, because they're not really zombies. Excuse me. The one zombie-esque game that I'm really going to enjoy. because, I mean, it's Naughty Dog. So when I was thinking about The Last of Us, I was thinking, man, speaking of Naughty Dog, I have Uncharted Golden Abyss in my Vita. I haven't finished that. Worse, I have Uncharted 3. I haven't touched that. So, you know, it's that thing. It's like, what, I'm not covering it for work? Psh, never mind. And I actually bought Uncharted 3 close to release. I mean, it wasn't on release day. It was the second it went to 30 euros, which is usually the price for platinum. Not really platinum. What is it? Whatever. It's the platinum PlayStation games. You guys know, the ones that would come with the gray box, whatever. Those usually retail for 30 euros. So sometimes when I'm not ready to buy a game at launch, I'll wait until it drops down to 30 euros. I'll pick it up then. So it was actually pretty close to launch because for some reason Uncharted 3 dropped price very, very fast. And I haven't touched it. It's sitting in my shelf behind me somewhere. I haven't touched it. And that game, I can actually say I have not touched it. As in, the Blu-ray disc has not penetrated my PlayStation 3. And it's so confusing because I love the Uncharted franchise. I love it. But again, I'm always thinking about video games as work. And it's the whole point that I can't even make this point. You know, it's because I still can't connect all the pieces in my brain. It's like you're thinking about video games as work, but in reality, even if you're not working, you're still doing work. But your brain can't process that. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm Portuguese. Maybe it's because of the way that I was brought up by my parents, who always told me when I was playing video games. Yeah, that's probably it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because whenever I was playing video games, my parents would go up to my room like, oh, you're playing them video games again, huh? When are you going to go study? You know, do some school work. And I guess that just becomes embedded into your head, and you're like, oh, if I'm playing video games, I'm actually not working, which makes my life as a video game commentator really, really hard. I really don't know what else to say at this point. Oh, I wonder if I should even upload this video. I'll upload it because that's just the way I am. And I think I've always shown my audience the real me. I've never really hid behind any strange facade or anything like that. So this is just the confusion that's going through my brain right now. And it's a very confusing topic for me still. So yeah. And I also think I'm going to be doing more cons casts because that is something that I've really felt the need to do. As a matter of fact, I think that if I do this whole thing of me playing through games and all the way up until I finish them and then talk about them, I think there's still going to be cons casts. Like when I talk about that stuff, it's a cons cast. Like for instance, let's say I finish Uncharted Golden Abyss and Uncharted 3, like, oh, boom. If I do that, I'm going to do like cons cast Uncharted. And I'll just talk about Uncharted and my feelings on Uncharted and all that stuff. Yeah, pretty long cons cast over here. Hope you guys are still there listening. If you're still listening at this point, let's think of something really weird to say in the comments. Whoa, my girlfriend sneezed. So yeah, that's actually a good thing. If you're still listening at this point, this is actually going to be a good. It's actually going to be a good test because I've always wanted to know if people listen to Conscasts all the way. So if you're still listening at this point, I want you to say Gesundheit in the comments. Just even if you want to make another comment, just make one comment that says Gesundheit and then do whatever other else comment you want to make on the video. That should be funny. Just do it just because it's fun, because it will. Actually, that sounds really wrong. Like I was going to say because it will entertain me. It's like you're the one supposed to entertain me. It's actually supposed to be the other way around. Well, theoretically, considering that I don't want to be like everybody. I mean, everybody's going to want to be a unique snowflake, right? But everybody also wants to be the most successful person on the planet. I don't necessarily want to be the most successful person on the planet, and I most definitely do not want to be the most successful person on YouTube. I just want to be successful enough to sustain myself. That'll do. So, damn, my brain's messed up today. In the middle of all this, what I wanted to say is, since I don't want to be the most successful person on YouTube, how about we all compromise, and instead of having that relationship of just me entertaining you, how about we entertain ourselves? How about that? Think of ourselves as a group, as in everyone that watches Rurikhan's videos is like, it's a group, and I'm just a part of the group. I'm not even like, sure, I'm the dude that has the voice, let's put it like that, but I'm not even like above the group or anything. It's like we're all just part of this one group, and instead of being me entertaining you, it's us entertaining ourselves. Man, that was philosophical. That was some paradigm shift bullshit right there. I guess I'm having too much fun with this particular Conscast because I'm just really throwing my ideas out there. Everything that comes to my head that I'm thinking about at the moment, I just pour it out there for you guys. Maybe you guys don't like it. Who knows? I'll have to wait and see in the feedback. Anyways, I think I'm going to finish the video here because I'm even losing the pacing of my commentary. So just leave me your feedback, comments, all the usual stuff in the comment section below. Hit like if you enjoyed the video, all that kinds of stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.